right, is going to be down. We talked about, now the Niners do have to play the AFC West, but they do get 2 of those games at home. And I would say ultimately, if you have the Rams and the Packers, and they've deserved it, right?
And they play, I'm not being funny, they play at the Raiders, which you would think could actually be it's not a horrible road disadvantage, right? Could be a lot of
could be a Niner home game. But you would say the Rams and the Packers, for a regular season standpoint, or even though the Niners have owned the Rams and have, taken care of the Packers now 2 of the last 3 years in the playoffs, the Packers are better suited with Aaron Rodgers to win 12 games because they have Aaron fucking Rodgers, and the 49ers are with a first-time starter. But you would say roster-wise, if you just go, Trey Lance can be the 14th best quarterback in the NFL, not like Rodgers to be 1, right? Not like Mahomes to be 2, but just the 14th best, I would say they should win 11, 12 games because their team is stacked, right? Their team, they have an excellent team and an elite coach. So, but that's the pressure. Like, there was pressure. Part of the reason why we were so hard on them this year, there was a ton of pressure. They rolled back the team. They thought they were a playoff team, and then they didn't go to the young guy. They went to Jimmy because they thought they were a playoff team. And ultimately, by the skin of their teeth, do you have skin in your teeth? It worked.
Skin of their teeth. Yep.
Right? It worked, but I think there is going to be equal amount of pressure. It's going to feel different because it's got a young quarterback, so you're going to have to take some lumps. But not making the playoffs next year in the NFC would feel like, if I tell you right now that 49ers missed the playoffs, as of March, wouldn't that just sounds devastating out loud?
Again, because who is? If you're saying they're not, then tell me the 7 teams that are. And what you're going to tell me is a team that's worse than them right now, or several teams that are worse than them right now, even with a rookie quarterback. Because the point on Trey Lance is not that Trey Lance has to become the fully blossomed version of Trey Lance right now.
No.
But he does have to be good enough. And project or not, is he ready? Is he not ready?
I think it's fair to call him a project.
Yeah, but the reason I don't like, because that creates a whole other conversation, which is project means different things to different people. Like, you can be a project and also good enough to start for your team, right? Project can also mean like doesn't belong on the field. And I don't think he's that version of a project. I think we saw enough that he should be on the field, and he's not going to be the guy that you put it on his shoulders, but he's still good enough to win with. Is that how you view him as a project?
Yeah, I think it's fair to say that any young quarterback is a project because they're constantly improving.
Yeah, that is the not dramatic way to use the word project. Their schedule, football team, Cardinals, obviously. Sorry, I'll leave the division out of it. At the Falcons, at the Panthers, at the Broncos, at the Raiders, at the those are their road games, plus their divisional road games. Saints, Bucks, Chiefs at home, Chargers at home, at the Bears, Dolphins at home. Like, they're going to be favored in most of those games outside of the division.
I think a huge thing they got to figure out is they swept the Rams, right? And they got swept in the other 2 games, or the other 2 teams. So they went 2-4 in the division.
Yeah.
I would say at minimum they got to find a way to go 3-3 or 4-2. If you go 4-2, to me, they're an 11+ win team. If you're going 2-4, then yeah, it's going to be one of those, like, the last couple of weeks you're trying to get that 6-7 seed. But what really killed them this year? It really wasn't the Tennessee loss. It really wasn't the Colts loss. It was getting swept by Seattle and swept and beaten by Colt McCoy. Those 3 games were enormous swing. Like, you're going to lose some of these random, like, you might lose to the New Orleans Saints, right? That happens, right? We remember a couple years ago when they made the Super Bowl, they lost to the Falcons. You cannot be losing when you play the Arizona Cardinals backup quarterback.
Yeah.
I would say at minimum, you got to go 3-3. Because to me, 2-4 is what shitty teams do. I bet if you look at what the Jags, I mean,
you got to win.
They won 1 game, so Jags might have gone 2-4.
You got to go 3 out of 4 against Seattle and Arizona. Meaning you can't split with them and can't get swept by them.
But even if you go, but here's all you got to do: sweep Seattle and then split the other 2 teams. Isn't that fine?
Yeah.
4-2, and you're in great shape.
They're going to be favored in 9 of their 11 non-divisional games.
You're saying Tampa, the Saints, the Bears.
I'm saying football team favored, Falcons.
I wish they would have gtten Commandos.
Commandos. I like that better. Commandos favored, Falcons favored, Panthers favored. What's that? 3, We can leave Denver out for now, but I could see them being favored in that game. Saints favored, Bucks at home favored, Chargers at home
where's the
favored.
Denver game?
Road game.
Probably depend what time of year it is, right?
Yeah, at Chicago favored, at Miami favored, or Miami at home favored. So maybe they're not favored at home against Kansas City. Maybe they're not favored at Denver.
It would depend. Like, are they? Is it week 9 and they're both like 6-2? Then Denver's proven they're good. They would probably be like a 2 or 3 point favorite right at home. Be one of those.
I mean, and you go, and Russ has had 16-4 against this team before.
If I tell you it's Niners opening up week 1 at Denver, might be a pick 'em or something.
That would be a great opener. Would you want that for Russ?
Yeah, I mean,
would you want that for Trey?
It's 17 games. It just is.
Get it out of the way.
There's not.
It's
really.
not. It's,
I'll tell you this: like the
don't
Saints,
hate Fangio being gone for that.
I'll tell you this: the Saints and the Bucks. We bemoan and diminish those two teams. Wouldn't you say both those two teams have good defenses?
Yeah.